I'd first of all like to greet our viewers and listeners across Iteso and Uganda at large. That there's a team from Iteso Cultural Union, and we are here to give an update as regards activities to mark the third coronation anniversary of His Royal Highness Papa Paul Sunday Emolot Ntomele, the Emorimor Papa Iteso. We all know that this activity should have been on the 22nd of this month, that is October, but there was a shift date such that the activity will be held on the 25th, Saturday, 25th of October, in Kenya. But most of our people do not understand why we had to shift the date. It is because it coincided with the nominations of members of parliament. Most of them are being nominated on the 22nd and 23rd. So we saw it prudent that we shift the date to a weekend, that is on the 25th, to allow our sons and daughters who want to participate in our activities to finalize with their nominations, and then they will join us over the weekend when they're a bit free. So we are having that coronation, that's the third coronation. But besides the coronation, there are activities that to be take place prior to the coronation, and one of them is a run that we intend to raise funds for enabling our children to get to school. You know, we always have challenges with most of our children when it comes to digital education. We want to raise funds for the education fund. As we all know that the theme for the day is investing in girl and boy child education. That's the theme for the coronation anniversary. And one of the key activities that today will be the launch of the education fund. So as I said prior to the launch of the education fund, we are here to launch activities that are prior to that day. One of them, as I said, is the run. That at a certain point my brother will give details. So this run is to raise funds for most of our vulnerable children who are fallen out of school. Others are failed to pay school fees. Others have gotten out of the normal education process. They need to be skilled and all that. Others have, you know, our place also has challenges of teenage pregnancies. So early marriages. So most of these have affected the education of our children, and most of them get back to the institution to Papa to say, how can you help us advance our education? So because of that, we are overwhelmed really as an institution, overwhelmed as an office. So Papa thought it wise that we need to have the fund purposely for that purpose. So it is it, but my brother will give us details about the run. We need to raise quite some money out of it. There are some activities that took place prior to that as well. We had a breakfast dinner in Sheraton, but he'll give details to that, where we're able to launch the program. So the program was launched, but today we are here to launch the kits that will go out to the public. So the details about how much and all that will be given by my colleague. But these kits will urge our people out there to purchase these kits, because once you purchase them, that means you're supporting the child also to get back to school. So we are here today to make sure that we launch these kits, and also we want to thank those who have been able to support us in this whole endeavor as we move into this. There are other activities as well that we are going to carry out before that launch of the fund. We're also going to be launching the academy, that is the Academic Development Foundation. There are also activities that I'll ask the minister to highlight on them before that day. We're also going to be launching our local print, that is our column newspaper, as one of also the activities for the day. But purposely why we're here today is to support the theme for the day, and that is issues of education. And the theme, as I said clearly, is support the girl and boy child education. That is the core. That's why we're here, and we're trying to urge the public to come out, support us, purchase our kits, and make sure that we all participate in this run and participate in activities that to mark the third coronation anniversary. So let's all be there that day and make sure that we all support Papa the third His Highness, Royal Highness Papa Paul Sademolo Etomeleng III, in all his activities, endeavored to support the young generation, because we all know it is this generation that is supposed to take over from us. So once we don't nurture them, we will have issues, because currently as we stand within our society, we have challenges with the young people. Most of them are falling out of school. We have different groups. We have the groups called Caribbean, we have groups called the COG, and those social groups are giving us a bit of problems within our communities. So this is the only opportunity, this is the only chance we have to salvage our people from this problem that we are having. And the only way to do it is for youth, members of the public, to support us in these activities that are geared towards supporting the issue of education of Iteso. Once you do that, you have put a mark on us as a people of Iteso. So we pray and urge all the sponsors, all those partners, and we urge other people to come in and sponsor this activity. We thank those who have been able to do it. I know my brother will highlight a few of the sponsors who have been able to come in, but I would only like to urge us to come out and give a lot of support to this activity as we move towards this day. And also invite all of us to be part and parcel of the coronation anniversary. So with these few remarks, I would like to ask my colleague and the head of the team that is going to manage the issues of the run to give highlights about the run, tell us exactly where and what we expect out of that run. So, my colleague, Mr. Yako, can you give the press briefing about the run?
So, I see where I stand.
No,
thank you very much, Right Honorable Prime Minister, and members of the fourth estate, which is the media. My name is Eriaku Peter Emmanuel. I work in the institution as the Executive Director of the Development Arm of Iteso Cultural Union. And for being organized in an attempt to raise funds to kickstart what we call the Emorimor Education Fund. This activity was conceived out of analyzing the prevailing situation of the education levels, education sector in Iteso sub-region. Owing to a lot of factors like insecurity, high prevalence of HIV/AIDS, which brought about orphanhood, teenage pregnancies, a lot of our youth dropped out of school. And when they dropped out of school, they began by being unruly, and we called them WhatsApps. Over time, they graduated into some organized group, which we decided to call Okadibong. As we are still there, the situation is getting worse. We have now advanced into what we are calling a walk-walk, who are now a security threat to us. Some people have brought on board interventions that are a little militant. But His Royal Highness, Papa Emorimor, in his wisdom, looked at the situation and said, no, it is not the children to blame. It is the systems and the processes which have led them to where they are. And it's therefore our responsibility to find a way of addressing their plight. So one of the objectives of the Emorimor Education Fund, for which we are raising money through this run, is to establish what we call the Iteso Skilling Institute, where such school dropouts, out of the factors I've listed, can be taken and trained on employable skills so that they can also begin a decent living. Also in the background of all this, there are some students who are struggling with education up to S4, up to S5. They perform very well, but sometimes they get defeated. And you find someone with very good results from O level, very good results from A level, just dropping out and being frustrated. So again, His Royal Highness Papa Emorimor decided that through the Emorimor Education Fund, for which we are raising money through the run. Let there be a scholarship scheme that can begin addressing the tuition challenges of such bright but disadvantaged sons and daughters of Iteso. There are also children who have worked hard with their parents and they have tried to go for some courses. Vocational course here, vocational course that way. Unfortunately, some of the skills that they get in this training do not match the demands of the market. So at the end of it, a parent gets frustrated. He sold all he had to educate the child. The child is frustrated. He did his best to study, but the skills he has are not matching the demands of the job market, of the industry in the place. So again, Emorimor Education Fund intends to set up training arrangements which match the skills required in the job market and in the industry, especially at the regional level as Iteso, at the national level, and also the global level. Now, when it comes to the Emorimor Education Fund, which we are using Emorimor Coronation Run to mobilize resources, this activity was kick-started at the Sheraton Kampala Hotel on the 26th last month with a breakfast launch, which was organized by our official partner, Eastward and Eastman Establishments Limited. Today we are here to also launch it at our region to tell our people that yes, on the 18th of October 2025, we shall be flagging off the Emorimor Coronation Run 2025 under the theme Run for the Child to raise money for the three objectives I already earlier mentioned. This run will be flagged off from Soroti Sports Ground. The route has already been mapped. It will have two components. One component will be 5 kilometers. The other component will be 10 kilometers. And we are now officially unveiling this kit and calling upon all sons and daughters of Iteso, all our development partners, all our well-wishers, and friends of the children to come support Papa Emorimor in his endeavor to mobilize money for that noble cause. This kit goes at 20,000 shillings if you are to buy it cash. But if you are far, we have other arrangements through which you can buy. There is the digital platform where you pay 25. The 5,000 added is for delivery. You can also pay through mobile money. That will also be 25, such that the 5 is used for delivery. But if you come to our outlets with your 20,000, you will be given. And we are going to set up outlets. The main one is the very place we are seated at. That is the Iteso Cultural Union head office. We shall also be establishing outlets in every district as guided by our chairpersons of the Iteso Cultural Union committees in the districts. So all in all, we call upon you, the media, support us in this. And it's going to be an annual event. For every coronation anniversary, there will be a marathon to continue raising money towards the three objectives that I've stated. I thank you.